We are back into unit 1.4, still in the main method from unit 1. Okay, let me just scroll up a little bit and see where we left off. The left off part here from 1.3, we had an exception. It got commented out because we don't want that to disrupt anything when we run it. We have this R being printed, and it's printing without a new line, so whatever gets printed after would come right after this R. And I think this R was 0 because we had a 0 by 0 error here for an exception, a divide by 0. So right, this R is going to be somewhat affected here in a sense that once we print the value for R, whoever gets printed is going to be right next to it, so it's going to look a little weird, but we just have to remember that. 1.4, we're looking at variable assignments again, calculations again, but this time it's with compound operators. What does that mean? Plus equals. Okay, plus equals. What does this mean? Plus equals just means take the A as it is, add on these two, and assign it back to A. So I have the actual translation over here. So if A is currently 1, we have these three integers assigned at top, A being 1, B being 2, and C being 3, all of them, 4 bytes each. A, 1 plus 2 plus 3 gets me a 6, so A changes to 6. That's very important because when we get down here to the next statement, this compound statement says take the B as it currently is and add on A. Well, B didn't change, but A did. So B is a 2 plus a 6 plus a 3 gets me 11, so B is now 11. By the time we get to C, A and B already changed. C still is 3, so it's going to be 3 plus a 6 plus 11 gets me 20. When we print this, we are going to get 6, 11, 20. But just remember that 0 from above here is going to be right in front of the 6. So by the time we print this, it's going to be 0, 6, space, 11, space, 20. The next example, example 10, has two things that we want to check out. Post incrementing, which is plus plus. That means add 1. Okay, this is after the x and this is before the y. Still have some compound stuff over here. Let me just say about these compound, any operation can go here. We cannot have a space. If I put a space, it's going to give me an error. Yes, next to each other. We could have a minus, we could have a plus, we could have a mod, we could have a multiply. Doesn't matter what's there. The point is we're going to perform that operation, but we're going to make the translation. So this thing is saying, take the y as it is right now, add on the x, assign that value back to y, and then increment x by 1. That's called post incrementing, meaning add the 1 after the assignment. This is pre-incrementing, which means add the 1 before the assignment. So this one is not covered on the AP exam, but I'm showing it here just for complete knowledge that these two things exist. Only the number 1. Now, do we have a minus minus? Sure bet we do. Now, we could have a minus minus and a plus plus because we are only adding 1 or subtracting 1. We cannot do it for 2. If you wanted to add 2, you must use the compound statement like this. Plus equal 2. So, here, let's take a look. X starts off at 5, both integers, and y is 10, 4 bytes each. And right now, this y is going to change. Okay, it says take the current value of y, which is 10, add on the x, which is 15, assign that back to y, y becomes 15, and then add 1 to x, x becomes 6. Okay, when we get down here, same thing about to happen except we have a subtraction. Take the x as it currently is, okay, subtract the y after adding 1 because this is pre-incrementing, so we got to add the 1 to the y first, and then do the subtraction, and then store it as x. So let's just run this and see what we get. Alright, so we have a bunch of stuff from before. We should be remembering all those, but we just want to find the area where that 6 is printed. So right here. So this 0 is printed from the R. That was slightly above this right here, and the 6, 11, 20 exactly as we expected. But let's just check out number 10 and see what those answers are giving us. 6, 15, we expected that. The y changed to 15 because we added these two, assign it, get 15, and then the plus plus occurs after post. So it became 6. And then when we get down here, the y becomes 1 more before the assignment. Okay, so plus plus on the y, it's currently 15, it goes to 16. That's why y printed at 16. And the x now has to be whatever the x value were before minus 16. So after we did the plus plus on the x here, it became 6. So 6 minus 16, and we got negative 10. This is shorthand or quick way of writing code, and a lot of programmers use these compound statements and these compact statements as well as post incrementing and pre-incrementing. These are going to be used throughout the course at various times. We won't be using pre-incrementing too much. We're going to use mostly post, and we're going to definitely use the compound statement. These things are going to show up on assessments as well, quizzes, projects. So just make sure you pay attention, work through them, walk through them, and this brings us to the end of 1.